Okay. Um, just got back from a date. I don't, you know what? I'm not even gonna call it a date. I don't know what the hell it was. I think he wants to date his sister. So weird. It was just, I mean, it was fun because I felt comfortable with this person, as in a sense that, he was like, I'm not attracted to him. I just see him as like more like a friend. But it seems like he was obsessed with his sister. So anyways, this is not what this video is about. I wanted to document this whole me changing my career path and trying to figure my life out. I know the last couple of videos of me just talking about, what's going on at work and how hard has it been to be out in the job market and trying to find a job right now. I'm sure it's the same for a lot of people out there, and it's just getting ridiculous at this point, even to the point where, you're overqualified for a role or for a job, and you still get the rejection letter. And it's so disheartening, right? Like it's there, it does something to you when you have to face with so much rejection from all different aspects of your life. It does something to your psyche. But anyways, I have been thinking a lot about, okay, what is it that I really want to do? This is really the opportunity for me to figure out what I want to do in life and really just go for it, because I've always been this sort of fearful person, and I like familiarity, I like comfort, I like to feel safe in a place that I'm at and to know that it's secure. Like I never want to do I never want to go into a path where it's unpredictable and I don't know what I'm gonna get, and I don't want to be that person anymore. I think I'm in a time in my life now where it's now or never. You gotta try, you gotta go for what you want to do, and if it doesn't work out, then at least you try and you'll always find a way. So it's just me trying to be in a positive state of mind. But I've been watching a lot about people talking about digital products, people talking about print on demand, and kind of starting your own sort of passive income business. And I've been very interested about that. I've been doing a lot of research on it, and I think I want to try that and see where that's going to take me on the side, while I'm still looking to have a job and have somewhat of a stream of income coming in until I can figure out what it is that I really want to do, and where this life is going to take me. And then I started to think more about other jobs, that is a little bit more on the risky side, and probably not ideal. But I mean, hell, at this point I'm willing to try anything, because it's so hard to find a job right now out there, regardless of your credentials and your experiences. It's so, maybe it's oversaturated. Maybe everybody is looking for a job right now, and maybe no one's hiring. But I have been thinking about feet pics. Is that too crazy to think about? It probably is. And I don't know how safe that is. It kind of puts you at a very close proximity to sort of the pipeline into OnlyFans and into eventually the adult industry, which I don't think I have the chance for that at all. I don't think that I would be able to do what these women in the industry do. It takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of confidence, and it takes a lot of sort of detachment that I haven't really mastered yet. I don't know. Honestly, like I just don't know what to do. You know, I'm just willing to do anything to make an income, and like since I can't find any job, I don't know what to do. You know, and I gotta live. So I'm not above any job. I'm not above doing anything. Even I've even applied for like a waitress, or I think it was like a golf drink girl or server or something like that. Nothing. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Please, if anybody is in the same boat, please just let me know, you know, like what you're doing to get a job, or if you have any recommendations on where to go. I feel like LinkedIn is so oversaturated too with jobs, and it just becomes a social media platform more than it is a business site. Indeed, it's just so much more limited now, it seems like. I don't know a lot of other platforms that, you know, are posting jobs. Or sometimes I just go directly to the website and apply there. I remember like I when I first started applying, I've got a couple of interview, right? There's two that I did. One I thought I did really well in, or at least I felt confident about it. But I didn't get it because obviously I got a rejection letter about 2 weeks after that. But then the other one, it was so strange. It was like during Labor Day, I think, when I was out of town. They messaged me, and it was over the weekend too, through LinkedIn. And this person says, "Hey, you know, are you would you be interested in this position?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. You know, it's actually in the location that I'm at." So I said, "Sure." And I'm open to hybrid, or, you know, a non-remote job now, because I've been remote for so long that I would like to go into the office. And so I was excited. I was like, okay, you know, finally maybe this would be a good opportunity. And I know a couple people that I used to work way back in the day, that also works there now. Granted, I'm not close with them. I don't talk to them, but I kind of know them. So then, you know, I gave him a time frame and everything. I was like, okay, you know, this day is good. And then we set up a time. He's like, okay, I'll call you, or we'll talk then. And this is all messaging through LinkedIn. And like from our conversation, I can already, there's something about his tone that didn't seem like he was interested. Like I don't even understand why he reached out to me in the first place about this role, because he just seems very like, okay, you know, all right, whatever, that works. Okay, cool. That sort of attitude. That's what I was getting. And so, but I was still excited. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and you know, I know this will be right up my alley. I've done this role before. And so, come that day, we were supposed to interview. It was like 4 p.m. And I logged into my email. I kept logging in my email just to see if he like would give me a message or something about, you know, whether he's gonna call me or if I should call him, like what's the phone number, or if there is a meeting invite or anything. I didn't see anything. So I figure I'll just wait until he calls me, you know, because I don't have his number. He has my number. So then, you know, I waited till like 4, and then 4:01 comes, and then I was like, okay, this is not this. I don't want to be late to an interview. That's odd. So I would like message him or emailed him through LinkedIn, and I asked, you know, do you want me to call you, or what's the protocol here? And then I kid you not, 5 minutes later, he sent me a Google invite to join a call. And so I was like, oh my God, you know, it's already late. Like now I have to configure my setup. So then when I finally got in, it was like almost, you know, 4:06, 4:07, and I felt so bad. I, you know, kept apologizing. I was like, I'm so sorry, like I didn't know. And he was like, no, it's fine. I probably send it to you late anyways, and don't worry about it. And then like it took me a while to try to turn my camera on because for some weird reason, when you're in a rush or when you're trying to get something done, um, your computer just does not seem to want to work with you, and that was what was happening. So, already started on the wrong foot, right? And then he was just like very uninterested and nonchalant and just very dismissive the whole entire time. And so I already know that I don't have this in the bag. So then, like, after one question, like, he literally just asked me, so, what did you do in the past? Just very unprofessional. And so I told him, and then he was like, well, I'm just here to see, if we want to, pass you over to our team to interview you for this position. I'm just kind of the middleman. I was like, okay. And then he's like, okay, thank you. And then literally that was it. So that was a really bad experience. And come to find out, like, my friend that was trying to apply for this same position went through the same process and had the same, not the same person, but it had the same experience where they were just unprofessional, and they almost have this like demeanor about them, the people that work there, that they are better than everybody else, which is odd because you're just managing account, you're nothing special. I'm sorry. But anyway, so that was a bust. And I didn't even like feel sad or bad about it because I didn't understand what I did wrong. Like, I was there on time. Like, I kept emailing him and trying to figure out, how to get into this, how to call him or how to communicate with him. And he just was disinterested from the beginning. And again, it doesn't make sense to me why you reach out to people when you clearly don't want to talk to them. So that was a really odd experience. But anyways, yeah, it's dead out there. It is impossible to find something, I guess, unless maybe you have a master's degree, or if you worked at, Fortune 500 company or something like that, you might have a better luck. But with me, no luck. I think I probably applied to like at least 100 different jobs or close to that by now. And I've had 2 interviews so far. One not great, and the other one I thought was okay, thought was good, and didn't really go anywhere. So I don't know. Really don't know what to do with my life. I just it's hard, and it's just like I don't know anything. Like that's my entire mind process of what's going on in my mind is just me going, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't know. The internal monologue is just a whole lot of uncertainty, a lot of unpredictability. Is that a word? Unpredictability. It sounds like a word, but I don't know. But I do want to also talk about, my reasoning. I don't know if I should go into details because I'm technically still working. Oh my God, I forgot to follow up on my last video talking about the PTO situation. So I had kind of a mental breakdown, or not mental breakdown, but a little breakdown on Friday because eventually they said they're not gonna pay me out for my PTO. Too bad, so sad. So that's where I'm at. And they said to me, this is what my boss's boss said to me, I suggest that you take the rest of your PTOs, which the PTO I have left over is 130 hours altogether. So that's, almost that's 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks and a half. And my last day is the 10th of July. So even if I take the next 2 weeks of PTO, I still have a week left over where it's just gone. I don't get to redeem it. I don't get it back. It's gone. So this person says, I would recommend that you use your PTO the next 2 weeks that you have left, and then just call in or address any issues, that we may need help with, or, any training that you have left on the calendar, just, help out with that. So you're telling me that I should put in my PTO because I'm not going to get paid out that PTO, but I still have to work during the PTO that I submit? I was appalled. I was shocked. I was like, wow. Also, like, how much is this company going to save by not giving me, at the most, $2,000 check, right, for the PTO? How much are they really saving by keeping that $2,000? So it's just, there's so much with this company that is very unethical, very scammy. The CEO is such a vicious, aggressive, malicious, vile, volatile, rage, very unpredictable, only cares about the bottom line. It's always profit, 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 and is a drunk, by the way. All the leadership team, every time there's traveling involved, they would be ordering, I kid you not, I think there was one night they all 7 of them, most of them are leadership and some are not, had about 8 wines of 8 bottles of wine altogether. So that's a little over 1 bottle of wine per person within like a 3-hour span. And he's just aggressive. Like he's not the type of person that I would see myself working with, working for, or even being friends with. I don't know how you can treat people like that and go to sleep at night. Misogynistic too. Yeah. Again, I want to tell the reason why I came to the conclusion that I did and why I decided to finally walk away. But I just don't want to go into too much detail since I'm still with the company. But I just listed all the reason earlier about this person, right? It comes down from the top, right? If the CEO has this persona to him, or if this is how this person is as a CEO, it's going to trickle down throughout the whole entire company, throughout all leaderships, throughout all channel of the business. And his best friend works for HR, so I can't go to HR and say anything. In fact, HR is supposed to be the person to advocate for the employee, that's completely separate from the company. Nope, not her. She's pushing back to me and said, nope, we're not paying you for the PTO. Sorry. Too bad, so sad. So I just had, a little breakdown on Friday, but I got over it, and I said, there's nothing I can do. What's done is done. People have told me to hire an attorney to do this and do that, and I don't have the time, the money, the effort to fight back. I do believe in karma, and I think people will get back what they put out in the world, and eventually they'll get what they deserve. And I don't think that I need to go out of my way to make anybody's life miserable when I'm pretty sure their lives are already miserable. But again, with these corporate jobs or even smaller jobs like this, where they think they're saving so much money just by undercutting a lot of their employee or cutting certain things in their business. But it kind of does the opposite, because when you have people who are so dedicated and so loyal to your company and worked there for so long, and then you are removing these sort of basic need that your employee needs, it makes them not want to work for you. It makes them not want to, you know, be motivated to do a good job. So, and then, you know, you're going around and wasting all these money during traveling just by buying all sorts of, you know, people dinner and wine and treating and going out and doing all this stuff. But yet, here your employee is, you know, are struggling to make ends meet, and yet you don't really care. It's so silly how some of these company operate, you know. And I have no one else to blame except for myself, because I should have taken the opportunity a year ago to go with a different company, but I didn't, because I really thought that, you know, my boss and my boss's boss has my back and would advocate for me. But I think you should never get too comfortable in a workplace. That's all I can say. If you've been there for more than 3 years, that's too long. Every 2 years you need to be rotating. You need to always update your resume. And unfortunately for me, you know, I was too naive and too trusting, too loyal to be able to see past any of that. But at least now I'm taking that power back, and I'm taking some action and, you know, doing what I want to do. So if anybody is struggling, you know, with either finding jobs or rejection, just know that there's a lot of people out there that are doing the same. I'm struggling so bad right now. But if you have any tips, please let me know. I would love to hear. I really don't want to be selling feet pics, but if it comes down to it, so be it. If I need to be a stripper, so be it. What am I gonna do? You know, like, it's a tough world out here. It's a tough economy. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not above any job. I'm not above anybody. I'll do anything, you know. And yeah, okay, that's it.